Have you ever asked an AI a question and gotten back a totally bizarre, completely useless answer? Yeah, you're not alone. But what if I told you that turning your AI chats from confusing to crystal clear is a skill you can learn, like right now? Let's break down exactly how to do it.
We have all been there. You ask for something simple, and the AI gives you back a novel or a poem or something that's just completely off the wall. It's really frustrating. But here's the thing. The problem usually isn't the AI. It's how we're asking the question. Just look at this example. Asking an AI to tell me about space is kind of like walking into a massive library and asking the librarian for a book. It's just way too broad. But when you get specific, explain the solar system in simple words for a 12-year-old, well, now you're giving the AI the clear guardrails it needs to give you a genuinely helpful answer.
So, to get those better results, we really need to master the main tool we're using, the prompt itself. And understanding what a prompt is, well, that's the first step. So let's get a nice, clear definition.
A prompt is just that. It's the instruction you give to an AI. You can think of it as your side of the conversation. It could be a question, a command, really any piece of text you want the AI to respond to. It is the starting point for absolutely everything.
And this brings us to the single most important rule to remember, period. Better prompts equal better answers. It's a direct relationship. The quality of what you put in completely dictates the quality of what you get out. Simple as that.
All right, so how do we actually write these amazing prompts? Well, luckily, it's not some kind of dark art. It really just comes down to 4 simple, super powerful rules. Let's walk through your new guide for writing prompts that actually work.
Our whole framework comes down to these 4 ideas. First, you've got to be specific. Second, you need to set the right tone. Third, tell it the format you want. And finally, just keep it clear. So let's break down what each of these really means in practice.
First up, be specific. Seriously, this is the #1 game changer. Explain photosynthesis is just vague, but explain photosynthesis in 3 steps for a 10-year-old, now you've given the AI 3 critical pieces of information: the topic, the length, and the audience. The result is going to be infinitely more useful.
Okay, next up is setting the tone, and this is where you can get really creative. You're not just asking for raw information, you're asking for it to be delivered in a certain style. Asking the AI to explain something like a friendly science teacher versus a dry university professor will give you 2 completely different answers. It's pretty cool.
Rule number 3 is all about the structure of the answer you get back. You know, don't make the AI guess how you want the info. Just tell it directly. Do you need a bulleted list for a presentation, a simple paragraph for an email, or maybe step-by-step instructions for a project? Specifying the format is going to save you so much time.
And our last rule, keep it clear. The AI is smart, but it's not a mind reader. It can get totally confused by slang, really complex sentences, or even just simple typos. So use simple language and just give your prompt a quick once-over before you hit send. Clarity in, clarity out.
Okay, now that we know the rules, let's flip the script for a second and look at the common mistakes people make. Understanding what not to do is just as important because it helps all these good habits really stick. You know, the most common mistakes are pretty much just the reverse of the rules we just covered. Being too vague, that's the opposite of being specific. Using unclear language or slang, that breaks our rule of clarity. And not giving enough context just leaves the AI totally guessing. So, when you master those 4 rules, you pretty much automatically avoid these pitfalls.
So why does any of this really matter? Because learning to write a great prompt isn't just some neat little trick. In a world where AI is becoming a part of almost everything we do, this is truly your new superpower.
I absolutely love this quote from our source material. Thinking of prompt writing as learning a new language, that completely reframes how important it is, right? It's the language of how we collaborate with technology, and it lets you communicate your ideas with incredible precision and power.
And at the end of the day, that's the goal. This skill isn't about just playing with tech for the sake of it. It's about empowering you to do more, faster, and smarter in your work, in your studies, and just in your daily life.
So let's put it all together into a simple process you can use every single time. 1. Always start with a clear goal. What do you actually want? 2, 3, and 4. Apply our rules. Be specific, choose your format, and set the tone. And finally, step 5, maybe the most important. Just quickly review and refine your prompt before you send it. That's it. That's your whole workflow for success.
And that's pretty much it. You now have the keys to unlock the real potential of AI. You've gone from being a passive user to an active director. So the only question left is, what are you going to create first?